Staying tuned, our big conversations begin right now. We are talking on matters Kcse Results 2023. Keep the conversation going on the same. The SMS line is 21144 and GBS TV Africa on all our social media handles. Mr. Abednego Paul is here with me. He is the Regional Director, Grace International Group, Kenya. Thank you for joining the broadcast. And Mr. David Karani is also here with me, member of Elimu Bora Working Group. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining the broadcast. I don't know whether it's still in order to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Because you're meeting fast this year. Now, just starting with you, Mr. Paul, maybe you can tell us just a little bit as a director of Grace International more about the organization.
Yeah, Grace International Group is an organization which is, I can say, the leading one around the Africa region to assist the young students who wish to pursue their educations abroad. So we are like an ultimate center of abroad education, and we really support the young group of students who doesn't know which career path they need to take, because we start from through counseling, taking all through the process until they reach there in abroad. Yeah, that's all about it.
Sound very essential. And now moving to you, tell us more about Elimu Bora, Mr. Karani.
Thank you for having us today.
Yes.
And thank you for giving this important discussion time. Education is one of the most important sectors in any country. Elimu Bora Working Group is a coalition of civil society groups. These are different NGOs that are actually interested in ensuring that education is actually audited in this country. And also, because the only thing we don't just audit, but we also bring, we also check the quality of education, and also we actually work with government to ensure that education is actually working right in the country. So it's just, most people hear civil society, they just think we are just criticizing. We don't only criticize, but we also work with government to ensure that actually the country has good and quality education. Yes, so we're just a third eye to just look into issues of education. So Elimu Bora is a coalition of all those civil society groups, NGOs, CBOs that are interested in education.
Very, very clear. Thank you so much. And now just to directly dive in our conversation tonight, we're talking Kcse 2023. Now, looking at the results, do you see a decline or an improvement, Mr. Paul?
According to my case or my observation of the things, I can say Kcse nowadays, although we are almost ending the Kcse era, but I think as it is ending, it's going to decline because student, I think even there was a time where we used to say, oh, males and the females, they are being compared, which gender is performing better, but you can see from the pattern there, A grade, B grade, A grade up to C grade, almost the male performed better than the female. And then it shows that there might be developed some a thought that maybe because this education system is coming into an end, maybe maybe they're having another different perspective to their 844 system. So according to me, there is a decline in the performance. Yeah.
Thank you so much. What about you? Do you share the same thoughts, or do you have a different opinion?
I think from the civil society angle, we were worried. The first thing that actually, let me start by actually congratulating all the students and the teachers also for having done very well, and also congratulate the head teachers of those schools, because they're working under very hard times. Issues of capitation, issues of lack of a lot of essential stuff that actually learners need to, because we've seen an increase in schools that were not known before coming up very well. Some extra county schools, Some even schools that were not seen before to be on top, but they've actually done very well. So let me start by congratulating them and also saying it is worrying. As much as some people are actually celebrating, from the civil society angle, from Elimu Bora, we are worried. We are very worried when we see exams coming out and we are seeing parents are not, they don't understand what is happening. Some schools have not received, some candidates have not received their results. Some candidates have received results, but they are doubting the results. Some candidates are missing. We don't know where some candidates went. And also, we are looking at an increase in D. We're wondering. Because now we're just wondering, this is taxpayers' money being used to educate these young people. Are we getting value for money? When you have a learner, almost 50,000 people, almost 50,000 learners getting D, E, that shows that actually a learner, that learner has done nothing. So we're just asking ourselves, where is the problem? Is it the teachers? Is it the students? Is it, what is happening? Because from Lumubora, we always take education as a three-legged stool. There's the learner, there's the teacher, and then there's government, the community, and also the civil society in the third leg. So we're just asking these learners, who has failed them? Because the learners have not failed. Is the government, the civil society, all of us are the ones that have failed these students. Because these students went to school ready to learn. Now, when a student is in school for 4 years and comes out with an E, that shows you there's a problem. So is it the teachers? Is it the government? Where is the problem? We need to go back and ask ourselves, where is the problem? A lot of money has been used to pay teachers, capitation, everything. And then a grade E comes on. Because now I'm wondering, for a parent who the child has gotten an E, where do you start? Maybe my friend here can tell us, where do you start placing a child who has an E? Because this one now becomes problematic. It shows that this learner wrote nothing.
Maybe you can hold on to that point, because I believe you're getting there, talking about those scored an E. Now, Mr. Paul,
yes,
this exam was graded according to the new system of grading that was literally introduced in the year 2023, where they're only having 2 mandatory subjects, that is math and 1 best performed language, and of course 5 best performed subjects. Looking this, of course we did have an increment from the minimum university entry points. Last year, the previous exam, there were 173,345, and this year we did have an improvement. Of course, these are some of the hits that we could identify, 201,133. Now, this exam was graded according to the new grading system. And did the new grading system hit the target for you when you look at it?
Definitely, the answer is no, because when the teachers there in the school, they are preparing students. They are preparing students in a different grading system, in a different maybe perspective, whereby you can tell the student, okay, we like how it used to be maybe before the new grading system. You were used to be told, okay, mathematics is compulsory, English is compulsory, Kiswahili is compulsory, and maybe 1 more science there is compulsory. So at least 4 subjects will look like compulsory subject. But right now, you will find if they are taking advantage of maybe picking at least 2 subjects, and then they can decide from there, okay, this is the compulsory subject, how they are bringing different grading system, which could be not the case as how the parents, but see, this affects, because I can tell you there are schools which they rely on the subject to be called the giants. I might maybe mention, for example, like Kcse High School. You can find the case of Kcse High School, they are known for like mathematics giants. Also the case of maybe Mangu High School, Kenya High School. So these schools, you will find maybe how they prepared the learners, maybe they were not aware of the grading system. When the marking happened and then the grading system happens and all these results were released, they will find they might not get what they were expecting, because the new grading system has been implemented to show out the results. I think also that is the same thing maybe my colleague here might address also as well, because according to me, this fail, this fail we are talking about. I don't want the student to feel, yes, we failed, so this year was not nice for us. But the fact is, as a country, when we are checking our education, is that we are dropping in terms of how we used to score in our NCC. That's what I can say. So this is what we need to talk about, to discuss about before it gets to the worst point, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much. And now, Mr. Karani, I'd also like to phrase the same question to you, because looking, it's one of the hits that I can talk about is an improvement. And now going into details on the improvement, we have been on an upward trajectory. If you look from 2021, we had 145,776 qualifying. And then 2022, we had 173,345. That was an increment of 27,569. And now we have an increment of 27,788. That is literally 219 students. The expectation was, this was supposed to be the equalizer. This was supposed to be the one which will transition many students to universities. Did it serve its purpose? And I would also like to talk about one of the issues that Mr. Paul did talk about. Maybe the subjects, they were not prepared in that system, but they're taking 5 of the best performed. It's supposed to bring a whole different result from what they were expecting. So what is your take on that?
So it was supposed to make it easy. It was supposed to make it actually, it was supposed to actually help the candidate. Because now they are taking only the best, the 5 best. Only 2 were monetary. That is English and and mathematics. So you tend to wonder, if this was not done, what would have been the impact? Because for those who got E's and got D's, now the best, those are the best that they actually. So you tend to wonder. Now, if they had taken, if they had done things the way they were doing it before, what would have happened? Because now we're seeing this when they're saying the best. We are just wondering if it was not done that way, what would have been the effect? So we're yet to come up with a detailed report on what happened. The ministry is looking at, they're setting up now task forces.
Yes.
We've become a country of task forces. We always do task forces. After every exam has come out, we do a task force. Those reports, we never know where they go. Those are taxpayers' money that actually people sit and they do a report, but it's never implemented. So it was a good move, but we've not seen it yielding fruits in terms of now those students who are down there. Because now I was thinking now we will not have so many students down there. Because now if they're picking only 5, only 7, the best 5, I thought it would have been better. But it is time now when the task forces will be set up to also look at malpractices in examinations. Also, we need to look at what happened. There were 3,000 candidates who were missing. Yes. What happened to those candidates? And also, when we talk about 100% transition, if you look at the same number that did KCPE, it's not the same number that actually was doing Kcse. There is a lot of candidates that were missing. What happened to those candidates? We need to be told. But one thing for sure, this is the COVID class. These candidates were affected by COVID. So we really want to be told what really happened. Where did these almost 200,000 learners go to? Because the class, actually, they're supposed to be 100% transition. What happened? Those are the questions that we wish to actually come up and actually ask. They were trying to actually help the student with the new grading system, but we're not seeing the effect. The effect, it may be felt in the universities, but now these other ones, what would have happened for this who scored D's? If it was not now for that system, what would have been the score? So it is really important that we go back and look keenly what is happening in our education system. Is it that the learners are not keen enough? Or is it that the teachers or is that the investment done is not enough to actually enable these learners actually perform. Because when we start talking about intake to the universities growing, but we also see numbers, big numbers in terms of now almost an increase of almost 20,000.
Mr. Karani, if you could hold on to that point, because I believe you're also getting there to talk about that. And now, going back to you, Mr. Paul, looking at the grading system previously, just immediately before this one, we had it considering 7 subjects. We have English, Kiswahili, mathematics, 2 sciences, and two other subjects.
Humanities.
Now, comparing the old and the new system, is the quality of the education at jeopardy?
Is the quality of education
at jeopardy?
Yeah, not that, because maybe, you know, these are just a grading system. But I think where mainly it's coming a challenge is the site on how the psychological of the student, because, you know, like when we used to prepare for the exam, when I was a student that time, like I can case my case and I can compare with now. When I used to prepare the exam, I used to know, all right, I need to get A in biology, I need to get A in chemistry, then I don't need physics. You know, I need to get A in business, I need to get A in CRA or history, then I don't need the rest. You know, I need to get A in languages and maybe both the languages as Kiswahili and because I didn't maybe go for French, German, another language student, they are subjecting right now. So what happened is, this is just a grading system, but when a grading system might not be favorable, because one subject you perform well, we said they are picking the top 5, and then it's the same question. The same issue is raising is, this student scored he. Does it mean even on top of all there is none of the 5 subject he could score a different grade? Because you need at least 2 subjects you score different grade rather than E to quit E. You know, so it is difficult here to explain. Then if this new grading system was infected maybe for the betterment of the student, then why? And if it was not for the betterment of the student, then why new grading system? So it's a matter of how we integrated the grading system, and maybe a big impact is on the grading system itself, because could be maybe different the way it used to be. I think maybe some of the students who are maybe facing the challenge of this, facing the challenge of the E's and maybe poor grades, they could be having at least something like C minor, C plus. This case we can be maybe talking of a better maybe student or student, they are performing better. But right now, the situation is our student, they didn't perform better in the year 2003.
Thank you. And now back to you, Mr. Karani, when it comes to matters quality of education, looking at the way the new system is designed. There was a design to look at sciences to put in a balance. And now when you decide to pick 5 best performed subjects, they could all be perhaps, let's say, humanities, or maybe they're doing music, computer, and business.
Yeah.
There's no chemistry in there, there's no the science subjects that were considered. Looking at now that system, is the quality of education at jeopardy?
I think the quality of education is we need to actually check. When I talked about a 3-legged stool, I mentioned about teachers supporting one side, students, and now community, parents, civil society, government are on one side. Definitely, we are looking at this tool now falling. The student side is not actually straight. We need to ask ourselves, if you're going to get an output, it should, whatever they are giving us is an output. What is the input that we're giving? What happened? Is it that the learners are not competent to do the exams? Is it that the exams were not, because actually for 4 years, for you to get an E, it shows you wrote nothing. Actually, for you to get an E, you just need to show up, write your name, and sleep. So we're just wondering what happens. Do you mean that this, for 4 years, this learner would have not gotten anything? what is the problem? We need to go back and now start looking at what are the teachers delivering? These schools are these learners, because we were told where the A's are from. We were told national schools gave us A, but where the E's are from, we are not told. So we need to know where are these E's from. Is this those small schools, the community schools, where an MP comes and tells you now, from tomorrow we are going to have a school here, where they just demarcate. Now the local primary school is told now you need to give land to the high school. We set up Babati structures and then we say that is a high school. No laboratories, no teachers, nothing. So we need to actually go back and look at what happens. What are we giving these children for them to give us ease? Because these learners, these are learners, these are people who are ready to learn. So it's for us as a country to look at, we are investing money. We are paying teachers, we are giving capitation. What are we getting return on investment? Are we going to now, because these are the people who are going to be the future leaders of this country. These are the people who are going to run the economy. In the next 4 years, these people are going to be, those who are going to be joining university, in the next 4 or 5 years, they are going to be out here. We are seeing issues of cheating. Those are just 4,000 that were caught. So it shows there are others who are not caught. So are you ready to actually go out there and meet a doctor who actually was not competent even to pass those exams, and maybe they take the cheating culture to the next level, even the universities. So we need to actually come back and actually ask ourselves as a country, we are giving money to teachers, we are giving money to students, where is the money going? Because we need to actually have that conversation soon or later. We cannot ignore it. We may have an increase in the university intake, but we also have an increase in those people who did not sit for exams, those people who are cheating, and those people who walked out of school in the middle. Because the number, where are those learners who actually didn't, is it, we need to know, is it insecurity from the government side? That is a government issue. Is it early pregnancies? That is a community issue, where the community needs to ask themselves, what is happening around us? That what is the culture? What are we showing our young children? Is it now those who are like actually leaving school to go and join the workforce, maybe start border businesses and issues like those ones? That is why I say the third leg, which is the community, the government, the civil society, need to actually do a stake talking. They need to take stock and actually ask themselves, we are putting money here, this is what is coming out. Let us change tack. Let us look at how we can improve. Because if there's people who are going to run this country, are we sure that this is how we want the next, even those people who are going to be going outside, to be going maybe other countries. When you're having this hullabaloo about our examinations, the credibility of our examinations, the last thing a candidate needs to worry about is the credibility of exams. Let the candidate worry about scoring. The credibility of that should not be an issue. Any candidate walking into an examination room should be competent that the examinations are going to be credible. So when you have issues of credibility, it's coming to worry. It's something that really worries civil society in this country, and we need to discuss that.
And now, hearing from what Mr. Karani just said, Mr. Paul, we could identify some of the issues. And now,
but what Mr. Karani is trying to put across is like, you need to tell us like, okay, it should be a role of everyone, so that maybe in good performance we can get in such results like this Kcse 2023 we are witnessing here. But according to me, I can say teachers, they did their role, according to me, you know, and students also, they did their roles, because I think every student going to the school here has that anxiety of scoring very good grade, not in grade E, not grade D, not grade D. And even you have seen on the street also, one school in Kisumu is coming, maybe rabbiting the street, maybe stating, oh, we have never got this grade even in personal whatever level, we didn't have ever seen this type of results. But right now, after the Kcse results, we have been branded that almost all of us, we have scored a D, no even C grade. And that's something worrying, because it shows that even from the student side, they have a very strong confidence, or I was supposed to rock this exam. Even from the school side, the teachers now, they have very strong confidence. Oh, I should have rocked this paper. Even from the parent side, they have a very strong confidence. My son, my daughter should have passed well in this exam. But that is not what Mr. Karan is trying to put across, because Mr. Karan wants to tell us, like, here, parents might be, they might be having some challenge here and they are maybe bringing up, contributing such a way in maybe not supporting the three-legged stool.
With the harsh economic times.
Yeah, with
the harsh economic times, maybe
now,
some learners, some parents are not even able to pay school fees or even
but
support the learners to, because I'm sure right now they're learners, because I was seeing stories where learners are talking about going to school hungry.
It will happen, but
we've seen some top performers actually giving out stories that are sad. At this day and age, after 60 years, we still have children who are giving horror stories of how they were going to get an education. It's very hard for these learners. You're talking about going to school, being carried by a bicycle. At this day and age, we should be having people who want to learn being given free education. Being given meals. The government has failed.
The government should have been carried almost all this cross 100%, because what really I can say, there was a time we were almost to correct the system. There was a time we were almost to correct the system, but you know, sometimes we might be told cartels will come inside, you know, and then because maybe there are family which need to score well, there are certain region which need to score well. Not every Kenya is, you know. So many stories they are cooking in around.
Yes.
And then this one will make now every ball to be returned to the government, because it's responsibility of the government to ensure that almost all our students, they are scoring grade A, not grade D. True or false? True or false? It's a responsibility of our government to ensure all our learners, teachers, schools, everything equipped, equivalent to the other, to score proper grades when it comes to the examination.
So what you're trying to say is a duty of the government to ensure that all schools are equal in terms of
that's a very interesting conversation to have when it comes to equality, because there's a division when it comes to the national schools, sub-county schools, and the categories there, so that the primary schools can be able maybe to students to work hard and be able to choose a school. And gentlemen, let us move forward. I'm told the time is not on our side. We have like very few minutes remaining and a lot to take a look at. But now, Mr. Karani, going back to you and just to continue this conversation, looking at the system that was introduced, this system, is it a system that is aiming to just take students to universities? But after that, after transitioning to university, what then? Looking at the system, is it a system that is only focused on taking a student to university and the end result is having a half-baked graduate? What do you see is the end game of this system moving forward?
I think this system was meant to favor the learner in terms of ensuring that the learner gets good grades, in terms of ensuring that the learner can actually relax. This system will relax learners, because now you see the pressure is no longer there, like before, where you had to actually do very well in terms of now ensuring that you everything that you do will actually appear in your result slip. Huh? So right now we are relaxing, and the learners are going to relax further. So it is meant to be learners friendly, which I don't see any problem with that. But what the problem is now when it comes to career choices, it's going to actually hinder a lot of learners, because at times our country is very funny. People finish high school without knowing what they want to do, where they want to go. So you'll find a learner who maybe in the result slip they did all the sciences, but in the result slip appears now not all the sciences are actually appearing there. I don't know what is the plan on that, because now you find there are people who after the exams that is when they start now looking at career choices. Some of them will go, and now when you go to, maybe you want to be a nurse, and biology is not appearing in one of your, in your result slip, and then you wonder where to go. So I think this one, they would have consulted further, and maybe to come up with a proper way of actually ensuring that they help the learners, not just to pass exams, but to also prepare themselves for the future. Because now we are going just to Tarembesha result slip. But now later, when it comes to career choices, learners are going to have a hectic time. Because now some of them will want to maybe go for engineering courses. Some marks are missing in their result slip. They wonder now what happens now. I think the ministry needs to come out clear and actually tell parents how they're going to. Because this one, they just announced. I don't know, the Minister of Education has been doing, before in this country we used to have roadside declarations. These days we have conference declarations, where they go to Mombasa in a conference and they declare something there, which you cannot start just, you cannot just change the way you're grading or announce you're going to do a new grading when learners have 2 weeks to exams. That is just unfair. Because you can imagine now you are actually disorientating this learner. A learner who was preparing for exams has now been told now you can relax a bit. I think this is unfair, and I think we need to actually do further consultations on anything that is going to be touching the common mwananchi. Public participation is very important.
Mr. Karani, before I come to you, Mr. Paul, because time is sadly not on our side, I would like you to briefly, in 1 minute, as you give your parting shot, looking at the exam irregularities, this previous examination, we had a lot of issues. We had over 4,000 students not getting results because they could not be released because of they have been suspected of having practiced some malpractices. Very briefly, we also had some issues in Kilifi, we had some issues in Nyanza. A lot of issues have, and these are issues that have continued to happen over exams this year, the previous exams. What is the real issue in the sector? Is it an administrative issue? Is it the way the exams are? 1 minute as you give your parting shot.
I think it's very sad that we're having issues in our examinations. One thing we are forgetting is that at this time when we're having our issues, our internal issues, also our neighbors are watching. Tomorrow, a young man is going to go to look for an opportunity out there. And you don't want to go to look for an opportunity, and the first thing they tell you is that your grades, your system is actually questionable. And this is going to be, we've seen Nigeria already. Nigeria has said they are going to now look into degrees, or not accept degrees that are coming from Kenya. So it's just a very sad affair happening, because these are the lives of people. This exam is going to be with you forever. It's going to be with you for the rest of your adult life, sadly enough. So if it has issues, it's something that we don't want to continue as a country. Having people who've been given that mantle, neck, actually they're using taxpayers' money. And they've been given this, they're the duty bearers when it comes to ensuring that our exams are free and fair. It is very sad when we see like schools in Kisumu coming out and saying, these are not our results. Schools in Kilifi, and we're also seeing cheating in examinations. So you can imagine now these are 4,000 that were caught. And now you can imagine now the rest that they were not caught. What happens? I think it's something that we should discourage. It's something that should never happen in future, where we have exams that are questionable. So I just think to the CEO of NEC and to also the CS of education, kindly look into how we can be able to be proud Kenyans when we carry our certificates out there, when we send our children to study abroad, so that we can be able, even when we are going for international jobs, we don't want shame. Yeah, so I'll just call civil society to actually try and work, communities and even the government, to try come together and see how we can be able to help these learners, because these are our children. We are the adults. We are the ones who are supposed to be guiding these children. And thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. And now going back to you, Mr. Paul, and just briefly as well, I would like you to tell us, because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to KCSE 2023, but now the exams are out. For those who have received their results, there are several Ds, there are several E's. What next after examination? Maybe a word to the people who sat for the examinations as you give your parting shot, 1 minute.
Yeah, all right. I can support one idea maybe my colleague has just mentioned. And we have this number already. We have already the results with us. Once the results are out, it's a irreversible discussion. We cannot reverse that. And as learners, we need to accept. We need to accept what we have at our hands. This is not the end of their life. We need to accept that maybe grade you scored. And once you accept that grade, it doesn't mean you cannot do anything with it. Yes, might be you were very nice in maybe biology, chemistry, different subject, but someone who didn't maybe bother taking these units, maybe he took other, maybe I can say different units which are not maybe subjects are not maybe that hard, and then they might have maybe managed to score a A or a B plus, and you didn't appear to this category. You are in maybe different category. Feel encouragement, gain what your potential is, and a journey need to start from there. Your journey is not still end. We are looking for you to build our nation. We are looking for you to come and correct the society, the government, the errors maybe which are happening around the education system. With whichever grade you are having, maybe take that heart, own that responsibility, and look forward. Your next education journey is there. You need to maybe focus on your maybe certain career specialization. Hard for that, for you as a learner, still we have some good maybe bodies you can go through. You can get some counseling, you can get some maybe guidance on how which career you can get through whichever grade you are having. So feel free also to come to Grace International.
I think before I know we are out of time, but I think I just need to add one thing. For those who feel like they did not get justice, do not settle. If you feel like those are not your true grades, they may be telling you to go for counseling and everything.
Thank you,
thank
you so much, gentlemen.
Follow it up. Elimu Bora is here. It's going to help you
Thank you.
to look for justice.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.